Hey, good morning, Sparta Nation. Happy Monday. Happy last Monday in April. So, my hair's a little crazy this morning, isn't it? Well, I worked out sometimes. If you look cute after you work out, maybe you didn't work out hard enough. So I finished my workout, finished my shake. Oh, I forgot to take a picture of my shake to put in the challenge tracker app. Darn it. But I've got some stuff to share with you, and some stuff that I'd heard this morning in some of my personal development that I thought was relevant to all of us, and sort of went with what we talked about on the team call last night as well. So I'll wait just a minute for some folks to join. I see 3 of you on. That's so awesome. 4. I'm gonna go grab my water. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's chat about some stuff happening and some stuff that I have in my head that I heard in my personal development today, and some stuff that I've been hearing in both the Rise to Diamond applications and just in conversations with some of my leader coaches. I want to talk about all of that, but we're going to do it in a efficient way because I have another call at noon. So we're going to keep it on target today, and I'm going to try not to ramble, but I cannot promise you that I won't ramble, and I cannot promise you that the spirit won't be moving me today because I've got some stuff that I want to share with you. First and foremost, if you are following me on social media, which I certainly hope that you are, you probably saw that Jessie, our youngest child, made a big decision over the weekend. She finally, after 9 months of hard work and a lot of thought, made the decision to attend Marymount Manhattan College in New York City to pursue a degree in musical theater and a minor in business management. Okay, why am I sharing this with you? Well, you've kind of been on this journey with me, yeah? So in 11 years, you've watched my girls grow up, and Jessie's the youngest. She's been at Super Saturday events. You probably know her. And I talk about my girls a lot because so much of what they do relates to this business. We tend to think of this business as a vacuum. Like everything that happens to us in this business is sort of this vacuum, and it could not be further from the truth. Everything that we do in this business relates to life. Well, if that's the case, then everything that everybody else does in life kind of relates back to this business too. Everything is connected, nothing is random. And the fact that she was able to commit to Marymount Manhattan this weekend is a result of a lot of years of hard work. But here's the other key that I want you to be so aware of. Do not sleep on this. The reason why she could apply to 25 colleges for musical theater, most of them private, all of them expensive. The reason why she could apply to 25 colleges for musical theater, the reason why when her sophomore year really decided that musical theater was the path that she was going to pursue. She'd been singing for years. She'd been dancing. She was a cheerleader. She loved performing. But when she honed in her sophomore year in high school that musical theater was her passion, we started leveling up some of the prep work that had to happen for her to make this her major in college. There's a lot that goes into it. No different than athletics. Yeah, you can't play a random game of soccer here and there and think you're going to be able to go play soccer in college. It's not going to happen. There's a lot of work, a lot of hard work on the parts of the kids and the parents to make that happen. So her sophomore year, when she decided that musical theater was going to be her jam, we knew we needed to level up. That meant private voice lessons, more dance, and private dance lessons to do some catch up. It meant a really incredible online academy for Broadway training. Amazing and expensive and necessary and pivotal in her experience. It meant master classes. It meant flying to New York, sometimes for a day, to do a master class and flying back that night. It meant summer intensives that were super expensive. It meant lots and lots of hours of rehearsal, lots of hours of practice. I mean, lots of throat coat tea, lots of shakes made in the morning, lots of workouts on her own, gym time. It's hard to describe all that goes into the pursuit of something at a high level like this. But here's what I want you to understand. All of it, every single bit of it was paid for and is possible because of this business. The reason why Jessie could apply to 25 colleges and we could say yes to any of them was because of this business. All those flights to New York, all those master classes, that online training academy, those private voice lessons, those private dance lessons. Does anyone think any of that is free? No. All of that requires money. And all of it was paid for because of this business. Now, Jessie is 17 years old. I've been doing this business for 11 years. That means I started when she was 6, long before we ever knew she wanted to pursue musical theater as her major in college, as her passion as an adult. Long before we knew that. But when I started this business, my why was to be able to say yes to my daughters, because at that point in our life, I could not say yes to them. Could not say yes to help them pursue their passions and do some of the things that they love to do. Jenna was in the Indianapolis Children's Choir, and there were a couple years where they had an opportunity to take a trip. And I told her no, that we didn't think that she was old enough to go because I was too embarrassed to tell her that we couldn't afford to go. So there's opportunities early on in this business, because Jenna's a few years older than Jessie, that I had to say no to Jenna to because we didn't have the money. And I despise having to say no to my children when it comes to their opportunities and experiences. I will do anything to not say no to them when it comes to their opportunities and experiences. I'm really okay with saying no to them to things, but not to opportunities and experiences that help them, pursue their passions, become a better human being. And I had to say no to Jenna, our oldest, when I started this business because we simply didn't have the money. And that became fuel for me to start to build this business. But I didn't know 11 years ago that Jessie was going to be pursuing musical theater, or that Josie was going to want to pursue ballet at a high level, that Jenna was going to want to do drum corps, all these things that were going to cost a lot of money. I didn't know that they want to do any of that. I just knew I didn't want to say no. So how did it start? It started by hitting Success Club. Started by inviting people. Started by running challenge groups. Started by adding to this team, by enrolling coaches. It didn't start and then happen overnight. It started 11 years ago, hitting Success Club 5 or 6 or whatever it was then. It started by enrolling a couple coaches. It started by inviting to a challenge group. It didn't start and happen overnight, but it started. It started. So what I was doing 11 years ago is very obviously happening. It's affecting what is happening in our lives today, because I can say yes to whatever college she said she wanted to go to without any thought. Well, I mean, a little thought. We got to pay the bill, but a little thought. But you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to go, no, you can't apply to NYU. It's $70,000 a year. No, don't even send your application there. Yes. Send your application there and send it to however many other schools you want to send it to. And what do we need to do to get you ready to go? I'm going to say yes to all of it. And that started 11 years ago. So when you're thinking about, gosh, I don't know, maybe Success Club 2 is okay, or maybe I won't enroll a coach this month or whatever, you have to think about what is your why, because I'm looking at the over 100 Rise to Diamond applications. I'm looking at the information in there. One of those questions is, why do you want to be a diamond? And overwhelmingly, the answer is because I want to help my family. I want to be a diamond because I want to help my family. I mean, there's no greater reason, right? There's no greater purpose. I want to help my family. Awesome. That's amazing. Do you know where that starts? It starts by hitting Success Club. It starts by enrolling coaches. It starts by inviting to your challenge group. And it starts by doing it years before you think it's going to pay off. Because what if 11 years ago, I would have said, well, maybe I just won't invite today. Or maybe Success Club isn't that important. Maybe, enrolling coaches isn't that important. Do you think that I would be able to say yes to Jessie today? There's no way. It is a cumulative effect of years, of months, of weeks, of days, of moments of staying in it. And because I've done that, because so many of you have done that, I get to send her to whatever college she wants to go to. And for the past 3 years, I've been able to say yes to getting her ready to do that. But that didn't start last month, and it didn't start 2 months ago or 6 months ago. It started 11 years ago to be able to put 3 girls through college. That's what this business can do for you. That's what this business can do for you. I need you to understand that. It's bigger than just how I started. I just would like to buy a pair of Nikes. That's an awesome way to start. But you have to start so that at some point down the road, there's something that happens that you go, oh my gosh, look what I get to do now. Because it started with, I want to buy some Nikes. And then it became, I want to pay for ballet lessons. And then it became, I want to be able to take my family on vacation. And now it's, you want to go to college? Cool, let's go. Wherever you want. And it started 11 years ago. I know I referenced last night the Beyonce special on Netflix, Beyonce's Homecoming. And in a microcosm, that's such a great example. 10 months of preparation for a 2-hour show. 10 months of preparation for a 2-hour show. 10 months of hours and hours of hard work, concentrated work, focused work for a 2-hour show that panned out in a $60 million deal with Netflix. Do you think those 10 months were worth it? I'd say they were. I think they were. Do you think when I watched Jenna graduate from Butler, when I will watch Josie graduate from Pace University in a couple years, when I watch Jessie graduate from Marymount Manhattan in 4 years, do you think when I watch them walk across that stage and get their diploma, that all the hours, days, weeks, months of hard work will be worth it? I think you know the answer to that. But it doesn't start now and then pan out tomorrow. It starts now and it continues and continues and continues and continues. And all of a sudden, you look up and you go, well, dang, look what I just did with this. And then 6 months later, you look up and go, dang, look what I just did with this. I also notice that people will say, well, it just feels so overwhelming. So overwhelming. And I heard Amy Rada, who's currently a top 10 coach, say one time on a team call somewhere, what a blessing it is to feel overwhelmed with resources to help us build this business. What a blessing. How grateful am I to be overwhelmed with resources and teammates and people who want to help us build this business. What a blessing that is to feel overwhelmed. And when we think about that term, overwhelmed, number one, our calendar's in our control. So if we're feeling overwhelmed, we need to do something about that. And number two, you know what's overwhelming to me? Not being able to pay my bills. That's overwhelming. Having to say no to my children. That's overwhelming. What's not overwhelming is inviting more people to my challenge group, inviting more people to this amazing team, inviting more people to get results with our products and programs. That's not overwhelming. Not being able to pay my bills, saying no to my daughters, that's overwhelming. That sucks. Just having to invite more people, that's not overwhelming. That's amazing. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. And aren't we so grateful to be overwhelmed with resources? I heard this this morning, and I want to ask this to you as we end April and head into May, our 30 for 31. Ask yourself this question, and I love this question because I think it's such a gut check for all of us. And you have to know that when I share these questions with you, I am asking them of myself too. I'm not going, hey, dude, here's a question for you. I'm going, hey, Julie, here's a question for you. And let me ask it of myself, and let me share that with my team too. Here's the question that I heard this morning. Does your effort align with your goals? And does your effort make you proud? And I took that another step further, and I said, does your effort help your family? So I think to myself, does my effort align with the goals that I say that I have? Because you all know that my goals are to help more women connect with our tools that work, help them get results, to help this team become a never before done in the history of the company 10-time elite team. I have a big goal of being debt-free by the end of this year. I have a lot of goals like you do. Does my effort align with those goals? Or am I talking a lot of talk and not walking the walk? That was a gut check question for me. Does my effort make me proud? Man, that's a gut check. Does my effort make me proud? As you end up April and you head into May, does the effort that you're putting in to connect people with our solutions at work that can change their lives, y'all? It can change their lives. Does your effort make you proud? Or does it make you wish you would have done more? Because that's in your control. That's in our control. That's so cool because it's in our control. And here's the other piece. And I thought of this because I've been reading these Rise to Diamond applications. Does your effort help your family? I see that over and over again. Why do you want to be diamond? Why do you want to be a coach? Why do you want to build this business? Because I want to help my family. Well, does your effort help your family? Are you scrolling on social media? Or are you working it? Are you scrolling on Facebook or Instagram? Looking at other people? Being inspired by other people? Or are you working it? Does your effort help your family? Because I can say today that the effort I've put in for 11 years helps my family in a very tangible way. Because Jesse gets to go to college. Josie gets to go to college. Jenna went to college. I can say that my effort is helping my family in a very tangible way. Is there more I can do? You know there is, because you know I got big goals. Does your effort align with your goals? Are you saying one thing and doing another? Are you saying something and aligning your effort with it? Does your effort make you proud? Do you get to the end of the month and go, I literally could not have worked any harder, could not have worked any smarter, could not have invited more people? Does your effort make you proud? It's no different than in fitness. Are you picking up the 10-pound weight when you can? Or are you going, I'll just pick up the 5-pound? Does your effort make you proud? Only you can decide that. Does your effort help your family? If your goal with this business is to change your family's life, is your effort helping your family? Only you can answer those questions. This is a long play business. Just like Beyonce with her 10 months of preparation for a 2-hour show, this is a long play business. If you would have asked me 11 years ago, do you think that you're gonna build a business that can send 3 girls to college? I would have said, I am just trying to pay my grocery bill. Because that's where it starts. It starts with Success Club every month. It starts with enrolling coaches every month. It starts with doing the work every single month. And there is, in this business, as there is in everything else in life, a cumulative effect. And if you take your foot off the gas, you lose momentum. I remember when I ran my very first half marathon, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna walk the water stations. I'm gonna grab my cup of water and I'm gonna walk the water stations. And I read over and over and over again in Runner's Magazine and heard from much more experienced runners than me, no. We don't want to be walking because then we lose momentum and it's exponentially harder to get going again. And they were right, because you know who walked the water stations? My husband. Do you know who didn't? Me. Do you know who was more inclined to just keep going? Me. So while we ran together, there was absolutely a discernible difference in his momentum and my momentum because I just didn't stop. Just don't stop. You have so much more potential in you than what you give yourself credit for. I know this. I know this because I see it every single day. I see it in my family. I see them rise to new levels I didn't even know they had. I see it in our challengers. I see them figure out that they are capable of doing more than they thought they could. I see it in our coaches on our team. I see it in our teammates every day, understanding the potential that's in this business, but more importantly, the potential that's in themselves. You have it. This business is life-changing. I am living proof of it. And here's what's cool. So are my daughters. So are my daughters. So if you have in your heart, I want this business to help my family, as your why, ask yourself every moment, every day, every week, is my effort aligning with that goal? Is my effort helping my family? Is my effort making me proud? Consistently align yourself with the effort that it takes to say yes to those 3 questions. And you will build a business that blows your mind. And you'll do it by changing so many lives along the way. That's the cool thing. Not build a business just selling shit that doesn't matter. You're gonna build a business that changes lives. And by default, it changes your own. All 3 of my girls' lives are irrevocably, forever changed because of this business. Because 11 years ago, I said yes. And I've just kept saying yes over and over and over and over again. And some of the coaches on this team kind of float in and float out and float, oh, I should do something, but and I just keep showing up over and over and over again. And so many of you do too. And you will have a story like this yourself. That moment when you wake up and go, damn, I just did that. I just enabled my 3rd child to say yes to whatever college she wanted to say yes to because of this business. You get to write that story. You get to write that story. I hope you write a good one because it can change your life, the lives of so many. Your story. Is your effort aligning with your goals? Is your effort making you proud? Is your effort helping your family? Is it aligning with that why? What's your story? And are you writing a good one? Because you're in control of it. It can be a good one if you make that choice. Make that choice today. 10 or 11 years from now, who knows what story you will be telling because you made that choice today. Love you guys.